We're back. We're back. What's going on, guys? Hannukah Night 2, the Electric Boogaloo.
Dude, I saw this picture today, and it was a picture from Kiel, Germany in 1932, and it had a picture of... Oh my god. I just forgot the word.
Oh.
Holy shit. The candles. All the candles. What's that thing called?
And the menorah? In your menorah?
Yes,
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, the menorah. It was like a menorah with all the candles, and then like in the background in black and white was the Nazi flag.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It said our light will outlast their flag. I was like, that's pretty fucking dope. Yeah.
Goddamn right it will. And it has. I'm calling my son every night on Hannukah, you know. It's been fucking cool. I love Hannukah, honestly. It's a minor holiday for Jews. Some people think it's like Jewish Christmas, but like you can still work and shit through it. It's just lame too. It just sucks too, because you know you're also the person on staff who gets booked to work for Christmas, while they didn't recognize any of your high holidays, because the high holidays seem to happen during a busy time for every field I'm in. So like Yom Kippur and like, you know, everything. Fucking Purim. All of our cool high holidays. Rosh Hashanah. But Hanukkah's dope too. You know, shout out the Maccabees, dude.
You're high on the holidays. That's what matters.
I wish. I'm notoriously humbuggy. I'm a pretty bah humbug person. If you know me, you know my family has a crazy fucking time in the wintertime. And I'm normally not about it. I'm normally pretty fucking sour all winter.
Time, like weed. You smoke some weed.
Yeah, I stayed pretty stoned all day today. It's Hannukah, so, you know, you got to. But it's Hannukah Night 2, the Electric Boogaloo tonight, guys. Jam some beats and hang out. I have no fucking plan. It's a holiday, so come in and hang out. Let's, draw some more names in the super chat raffle. Rolling hoodies out now, baby. Might as well do that shit live on air. Fucking while I guys have you here.
Yeah, sounds good.
Start rolling fucking
I'm gonna
hoodies
jump out. I just wanted to say hi, and that my stream was so laggy and so behind today, and I don't know why, and I just hope we can diagnose it, because it just can't be good for viewers. You know, I don't know. I guess I don't know if it's happening to everyone, but you know, that sucks.
And only in regions of the United States at certain times.
That's weird. Okay. Well, let me know if there's anything I can do on my end to help test different things or whatever you want to try, you know, if there's...
Yeah, let me know. Let me know if while you're watching this time, just shoot me a message or pop in the Discord. Let me know if it fucking drops out on you in your region. You know what I mean? Because it's probably just server region stuff. There's a lot of bandwidth that YouTube takes up, and they don't prioritize as small fish. But
okay.
With this isn't a monetized stream I have running, and we don't have any extra YouTube steps going on, so it should stay smooth.
Okay. Well, smooth. Yeah, thanks for having me up today for a little bit, and I'll jump back in later. I'm gonna go get my booster shot and power up.
Hell yeah! Congrats and good luck.
Yeah, thanks. I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Oh man, but yeah, I'm not sure. Whoa, there's a bunch of chats. Okay.
Yep, I'm here still.
Yeah, it's just YouTube today. It's just YouTube recently with my stream. It don't like me. It's been grumpy. I don't know. I assume Twitch ain't having problems, but I just got all of the fucking messages. Oh, Michelle. Hey, that's awesome that your parents have become fans. Shout out Michelle's parents. Hello, Michelle's parents. How's the baby doing? I hope the baby's doing good. Oh, I've missed you too, Michelle. I've missed everybody. I've had kind of a rough weekend. Just some sad family news. Nothing too crazy to write home about, but, you know, just a lot. My family can be a lot, even when I'm not there, even when there's nothing I can do and I can just hear in retrospect sometimes, you know, it's kind of the position I'm in. I just kind of hear some of the family drama. I'm pretty well removed from it right now. It's just emotion. We've been an emotional weekend. But turning it around, having a good ass Hannukah. Chit chatting with my son. That's it. Oh, Rose is asleep. You just fed her and put her down for her nap. Oh, I love that, Michelle. I'm new, what's up? Grab your torches and pitchforks. We ain't airing the Maxwell trial. Time to make some noise. Hisn, yeah, it is some old nonsense they're not airing the Maxwell trial. I think that we, as Americans at least, deserve that as an option. I'm glad we have these live updates from New York Times, though. I will say that. I'm glad I can at least do some talking head stuff on it. It's been the trial I've been waiting to cover. That's what also pisses me off about it. Like, Oh, you're cutting out on me, Deb. You sound like a fly. Ooh, Jeff Goldblum.
I was muted.
Oh, sorry, that was funny. I was like, oh no, Deb built a teleporter and a fly got in it, and then they teleport, and now you become a fly. It's full on Jeff Goldblum in the Fly. That's what I thought for a second.
No, I was making a hot chocolate. Okay.
Yeah. Like a fly on a wall, you two. What up, Scott Briggs? He just brought up the band U2, and the band U2 for our for like Chief and I's generation, for sure. Justin, Chief, and I, like, I feel like U2 gets a lot of flack, right? They get a lot of shit talked on them. Am I right in kind of thinking that, right? Like, nobody of our age necessarily took U2 seriously, right? But they're pretty dope. Like, Joshua Tree is a great record. I don't know why. I don't know if like we were just played out on U2. I know we had an iPod that forced a U2 record on us that nobody wanted.
Oh, everyone was so mad. We were all so mad.
Everyone was pissed about that. Dude, pissed they had to get that U2 record. And it was one of U2's worst records. It wasn't like they put Joshua Tree on everyone's fucking phone. But Joshua Tree's a dope record. Like, I forget the name of the producer. Prolific, great producer on that record. The kind of like the way they're using guitar work as samples is really fucking cool. Like, it's all effects driven guitar work from The Edge. And if anybody listens to like any Merc records close enough where I'm playing guitar, I ape The Edge a lot. Like, I rip him off a lot, like a whole lot. Like, I'm not that good of a guitar player, so I fucking really dig into like the math rock and kind of pop rock stuff I know when I'm doing Merc music in particular, or Nile Rodgers. Like, I'll do funk kind of, you know, like funk stuff. But like, it get me ranting on U2. That's a pretty solid fucking band. Like, I think they're still together, aren't they? Bono, ultimate himbo frontman. Hate him, love to hate him. You know, like, it's kind of a win-win for me with U2. They're like, you know, it's like I can skip the tracks of theirs I don't like, but I might, you know, listen to Where the Streets Have No Name. I might jam that track, you know. But I'm the same dude who might record some death metal and then listen to Sade for 3 hours. So, I don't know. Scott Bridge says, Edge's stuff is hard. You need a rack of delay boxes and stuff to emulate it. That's exactly what I have to do too, Scott. Like, I depend pretty heavily on effects work when I do guitar stuff. It's partially because I'm pretty shy and insecure in the instrument. Like, I don't consider myself like a Steve Vai or like a Joe Satriani. Like, there's people from my town back home, cats like Bob or Jason Hernandez. Like, they're these like guitar players back home that just always blew my mind as a kid. Like, from my scene that I'm not that kind of player. But I do like to tap. I do like to shred a lead every now and then. I'm just not gonna do leads like I'm fucking Steve Vai or Joe Satriani. I know guys who can emulate that sound immediately. You can say do a Satriani solo and they'll fucking do it. And I'm just never been that good. So I'll stack delays on delays in my DAW. I've been doing that since I've been able to plug a guitar into a computer, like doing my best to emulate the more effects driven guitar work that I like, or learning like the kind of proper rhythm guitar stuff, because I'm a bassist by trade. I grew up playing bass in bands, so I'm very much on the rhythm side of things. You want to program a drum beat or get a bass line written, do it blindfolded in my sleep. You know, discovery, so I'm a guitarist and a lefty. I'm shy at lead, but more of a rhythm and folk rock picking guy. See, Scott, I feel you there. Not a lefty. I play right-handed. I'm ambidextrous, so you'll see me do a lot of tap lines. That's really the only cool thing to my guitar playing that I think even stood out from my hometown was like I tapped a lot. Other than tapping a lot, there wasn't a whole lot about me like on guitar. Like, on bass, I'll fuck your mom, you know, like I'll fuck you up. You think you can play some bass? That's cool. I'll fuck you up on some bass. I'll pull some Victor Wooten shit out on your ass and I'll slap a bass all night. But guitar, I'm just not the best. I can do flamenco stuff. That also kind of set me apart. I fall into Spanish minors a lot, naturally.
My daughter, funny enough, a couple of weeks ago was given a bass guitar.
Really?
It needs a new string. It's got one of the strings missing, so she needs to get a new string for it. But it was just given to her.
Oh, hey, we can get on Discord sometimes. I'll show you some stuff. I got a bass I need to get fixed up that I brought out here with me. It's I got a cool old P bass body I slapped a jazz bass neck on. And it's just the bass I have. It's my studio bass. It sounds fucking great. It's a nice, flat, easy. It's tucking two knobs. I got a real. Oh, Bryn, right? Yeah, Victor Wooten's the shit. I've been to 2 different Victor Wooten bass clinics now, and I don't think there's a cooler, like, more zen. Dude was a Shaolin monk in his past life. I've seen Victor Wooten hold himself horizontally on a fucking pole and shit. Like, he can't. Dude's. Like, with his arms, like, dude's crazy. What type of bass amp do you prefer? Asked Scott Briggs. Type of bass amp. My go-to bass amp is my PVT&T 100. I have a 1978 PVT&T 100 that I had kind of custom fitted with new everything in the head, and it sounds good. I'll play an old PV, solid state bass amp, an old combo, a big combo. The TNT 100 sits about. I can ride it around. Got wheels on it and shit. It's my favorite. Those are my favorite amps. Now they're unforgiving. The TNT 100, mine is unforgiving. You have to have some reverb or like a preamp or something to go into it, but it will cut through any room full of amps, and it's perfect for you. It's a good bass amp. Yeah, Brynrar. Yeah, I love playing people here. Old Ampegs too. See, Scott. That's Scott. If I ever got an endorsement from someone like Ampeg, I would have to insist they sent me something old. I don't really like Ampeg's new lines. I don't think I've played anything in a shop that I like. But I'm incredibly picky with that bass tone sometimes. Like, I've gotten old. Special guest says that TNT 100 is almost past unforgiving to being outright cruel. Yeah, there's no forgiveness in that amp. You play a wrong note, people hear it. Like, it's fucking, you have no reverb naturally. It's a flat amp. It puts your DI out there loud, and it's, yeah. I've had a really cool Behringer half stack before. I had a Behringer head and like a neodymium lined, it was like 212s, It was fucking cool. It was a cool. Trace Elliott's dope, by the way. Team Trace Elliott. Yeah. If I had like the cash. But for anybody out there just like grinding. Also, man, that TNT 100 though special guest made me the bassist I am today. Without that unforgiving tone, I wouldn't have really had to learn how to lock into that 2 and 4 with the drummer. Like I fucking like it. Me and Josh from the band Where's Lawrence, when I was in Where's Lawrence, that's really when I probably felt like I came into my best bass playing. Some of my easiest bass playing, but like the best, like I'm playing through an unforgiving amp with the drummer that we're playing very simplistic stuff, so I have to be tight, fucking tight, Arcade Fire, fucking tight, like, and yeah, people talk about Behringer now like they did about PV 20 years ago. Yeah, I think Uli does good work, and it's fine if it's not spectacular. It's perfectly serviceable. Yeah, Behringer's always made a fine product, in my opinion. I tried my best to blow that Behringer head I had, and the only reason I went back to the TNT 100 was I think the dude I was in a band with lent it to someone else. It wasn't actually my Behringer half stack. It was like the band I was in. It was their half stack. So it went to someone else, but like, and I busted the TNT 100 back out, which I didn't mind. It was heavier. It was more of a pain in the ass to lug around my PV than the Behringer was. But yeah, practice REM and a lot of power pop and punk stuff, Heartbreakers, etc. Right on, Scott. Hey, yeah, I've been doing a whole lot of hip hop production. I've been a full-on DJ lately, guys. It's been weird. I've been back in that mode. I got a lot of different hats I can put on. I've been making Wu-Tang beats. Just tried to emulate the RZA the best I can. Do stuff like Griselda or J Dilla or The Alchemist. Try to do some really good hip-hop beats, but I feel like I'm onto something. But I'm about to... I got a whole mess of guitar shit I gotta record.
Tupac and Biggie had good beats.
Yes, they do. Now, I'm glad you brought up Tupac and Biggie, because again, I've been in a hip-hop mood. Been listening to a lot of hip-hop. Just my favorite shit lately. Like my kind of old classics, you know, like... When I get geared up to make any kind of hip-hop and anything, I try to go back to where I discovered hip-hop. And I think where I fell in love with hip-hop as a genre was Enter the Wu-Tang, the 36 Chambers. Like I think the first Wu-Tang record is probably one of those. It's like, yeah. But every time I go down this kind of meditative, like I listen to my old favorites, my old hip-hop favorites, it starts at like Wu-Tang. I end up at Biggie. I skip over Tupac, and so I'll listen to like what happened before Tupac on the West Coast, particularly The Chronic. I think The Chronic might have been the first album I bought with my own money, like money I had earned. Like it was the first record I went out and bought with my own money. So like The Chronic, it's close to me because it's all Parliament Funkadelic samples, which normally leads me to listen to a bunch of Parliament, which then leads me down to finding other funk records to sample and make my own beats. So there's like, it's a beautiful genre. Like it's one of those close to my heart kind of genres. Like when I get into beat making mode, I get real almost emotional, man. I get all fucking artsy fart. I get big dude, big mood. Made a beat and pulled a Cowboy Bebop sample of all things. Made me fucking cry.
My most favourite rap has got to be Keep Your Head Up by Tupac.
That is that's his fucking jam too. See, there's a lyrical difference. See, I gotta be in the mood for Tupac, and here's why. I love a lot of what Tupac's done. His flow is just something that's not necessarily that I go for. Like I go for Biggie's flow, or I go for MF Doom's flow. Like he's got this kind of like, it comes from the Black Panthers, it comes from Malcolm X, it comes from Dr. King, like Tupac's flow does. Like he's got this public speaking flow that's very like
Yeah, he was a Black Panther as well, wasn't he?
Yes, his mother was. Yeah, she was a bit. Yeah, and you know that's.
So was Tupac.
Yeah, Tupac was too. Yeah.
as well.
Well, he got fucking born into it. I mean, he was basically what Black Panther from the moment he was born on. When he says shit like that, he's being honest. Like his mother was in jail for Black Panther shit. Like, they're legit. Like he's but
His stepdad as well.
yeah. So he kind of has this. It gets me a little too. It gets me self-righteous. It gets me really like, oh, like it brings out the kind of like. Shake off the dust around like if there's a motherfucker around me seems uninspired, shake them till they're inspired. Like it brings out a certain energy in me. Tupac does. Biggie's for me is like a jazz artist. Like that's like a trumpet over a Miles. That's like Miles Davis. That's the way he flows is, you know, my favorite lately, and somebody I always go back to is, and he's no longer with us, MF Doom. A villain, a lyrical villain. Like, you have someone like Tupac. Let's say Tupac's a hero, a lyrical hero, which he is. You know what I mean? He says these things that make you feel a certain way. You get all the way through listening, and then you get to MF Doom, and he'll end phrases. He'll have whole phrases where each syllable rhymes with the D of the ABCD rhyme phrase. He does villainous shit. Like he does things that are like oh, you're a supervillain. Like I was just listening to like the Avengers, but this is Doctor Doom. This is the fucking Injustice Society. This is rap written by somebody who's trying to fuck with me and fuck with everyone around him, like make his contemporaries mad. Like motherfucker wore a mask. Yeah. Like MF Doom is one of those. He's got one of these lyrical styles.
Tupac was more deep. Deep into his culture.
Yes. And there was always a message, you know what I mean? Even if it was fuck the hoes with Tupac, there was still like I may get around, but I'm still a man of substance, you know. MF Doom, you have a rainbow of subject matter thrown at you like some Chinese food, like someone chopped up every ingredient, threw that shit in some rice and said, "Here you go, get the fuck out." And it's still one of my favorite. I still feel like the record I'm making right now is for MF Doom and he's dead. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. That's the flow I have in my head while I'm making the beats lately is MF Doom. Just there's no. I'm convinced there'll never be another. Oh, thank you, Brynrar. Yeah, I got the comfies on. Like I said, I've been in hip hop producer mode. So I've been in the hoodie. I've been fucking comfy shit on. I've been able to. You know, you get off. I got the extra big hoodie fit over the fucking headphones. You know what I'm saying? Get comfy. Get to making beats. Tobacco and beat machines. That's about what it is. Outcast, special guest Outcast. No one can fuck with Andre 3000. Rick Rubin recently did an interview with Andre 3000, was trying to get Andre 3000 to get back in it. Andre 3000 feels a little insecure right now. He feels a little self-conscious. He doesn't feel like he has any rhymes right now. And if everybody could put out some positive energy toward that dude and get him rhyming again, that would be fucking cool. Lux is home!
Are you still live?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I came to check on you because I didn't see you live on YouTube.
I should be right now.
Okay. Okay.
I went down for a second.
Oh, okay. No,
Just to swap streams because we're not talking about Ghislaine anymore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, it's Hannukah night 2, the Electric Boogaloo.
Oh, okay.
No, we're just hanging out.
Okay.
Honestly, talking about music. Special guest just brought up Outkast.
Oh.
Which...
Hi, Lux.
Debbie says hello. Which brings me to Houston.
Hi.
We've been kind of ranting about the hip-hop at a different hip-hop that I like. I was just ranting about MF Doom, but special guest brought up Outkast, which makes me think of the Dirty South. We were just talking this weekend, Lux and I, about how Houston's been a thing. Ever since Biggie said, "I may not be from Houston, but I rap a lot," referencing Rap A Lot Records, Houston has been on the motherfucking map. You got Toby out of fucking Houston right now. You got big shit out of there. Paul Wall. all kinds of cool shit that's come out of Houston and still does. Again, I think Toby Youngway is my Youngway. I don't know. I'm gonna say it wrong. Jewish dude, but he is probably one of my favorite modern rappers, like still working right now. Like that dude's fucking sick, and he's out of Houston. Reps Houston nonstop. The South, Texas. There's something about a Southern flow and Southern sensibility. Special Guest is from a place where hip hop in the 90s evolved around there was a section of it that turned into car culture shit, but he remembers like when beats were a little bit faster, they were gritty, but still there's a certain era of production. You guys all know what I'm talking about if I put a track on.
I don't want to interrupt too much. Can I borrow this?
Please do. It's plugged into the back of the PC tower.
I know, I just need to see. I was making sure there wasn't any other chords I needed to pay attention to.
Oh. But Houston's, it's just good rap. Y'all, the Tootsie Roll or Come Ride That. Yeah, shit like the Tootsie Roll or Come Ride That Time. Yeah, there's some down south hip hop stuff that's just it is the titties. And again, it's its own individual kind of stuff. Donkey butt doing the bite. Pretty doing the butt. Yeah. Word Special Guest. I'm excited to show Special Guest all these beats I've been stashing back. I think I'm on 16. I got 16 tracks built in the sampler. I still gotta move them over to You listen to Necro and Little Bill. I don't know who Necro or Little Bill are. Definitely check them the fuck out. Rest in Peace is a close second. Grave Diggers, that's right. That's Wu-Tang though. Grave Diggers is Wu-Tang. That's Staten Island. Some people forget that. Ill Bill, not Lil. Oh, sorry, did I say Lil Bill? Ill Bill. No, I'll check out Ill Bill though. Let me put a list. Hold up. Let me get my shit. They're two Jewish rappers from Brooklyn. Sounds up my alley, bro. I like Brooklyn, Queens. More of a Queens guy. But the fuck with Brooklyn. Let me see if I have actually heard any Ill Bill. I might have. I get sent a lot of hip hop when I was doing Echo Chamber, a show we used to do on this channel that we don't do anymore. Let's see, Ill Bill. Word. No, I've heard Ill Bill. Yeah, he's that big dude. Yeah, Necro. Okay. Yeah. I want to say I've at least put on this Necro record that's got the dude with the skull and the syringe. I want to say I saw that on like a disc or something and bought it at like a Hastings or something forever ago. I recognize that cover because I thought to myself, I said Necro is in the hip hop section, but like, this is like death metal. Still here, yeah. Long Island, New York here. What up, Scott? Word. Yeah, born in Queens. Yeah. Bismarck, he just passed away. He was from the, yeah, death rap. Yeah. Okay, Adam. That's what I thought it was like a lot of stuff I was listening to when I picked up that particular record though might have been just like metal influenced or heavy influenced stuff. I want to say like that was really popular at the time. which, normally I don't mix those two flavors. I kind of like it when people do. Public Enemy teamed up with Anthrax forever ago. Aerosmith and Run DMC, that's cool, but like Public Enemy and Anthrax, that was fucking crazy. That's fucking wild, but outside of kind of the more mainstream like metal people fucking around with rap stuff, I haven't really heard a lot of that. A heavier Linkin Park sound, Danger Kid, says Hiven. Okay. Judgment Night soundtrack. Word. Judgment Night, I just think of the movie Ricochet. Is Judgment Night anything like Ricochet? Special guest, I don't remember Judgment Night. I don't remember that movie. But in my head, it's in the font that the movie Ricochet is in, with Denzel, the Ricochet. Yeah, I don't remember Judgment Night. It sounds, speaking of ancient rap rock crossovers, yeah, there's like a history of rap rock crossovers. I've never been able to find a way to do it as a producer that doesn't sound cheesy as fuck. So like I've never blended the two flavors when I'm mixing something, or because if I do a hip hop thing, I do it as kind of in the form of hip hop as possible. Like I'm crate digging, like I'm looking for the right sample. I make the boom bap, I get it all sampled up, I get it later, like I do it like the RZA would, like it's a veritable who's who. Okay, I'll look it up real quick. The fucking Judgment Night soundtrack. I didn't even know. Hold up. Give me the OST, baby. Just Another House of Pain, Run DMC, Ice-T, Biohazard. Oh, whoa, these are all mashed. Wait, whoa, and Helmet. House of Pain and Helmet? Run DMC and Was That Living? Oh, fuck yeah. Sir Mix-a-Lot and Mudhoney? Pearl Jam and Cypress Hill. Special guest, I didn't even know these tracks existed. I didn't know these dudes had ever worked together, ever. Holy shit. Del the Funky Homo Sapiens on here with Cypress Hill and Ice-T and Run DMC and House of Pain and De La Soul. Fucking Onyx. Dude, what? They got Therapy with a question mark? Dude, this was... What year did this movie come out? 1993. Damn. Unfortunately can't play the soundtrack on the show, but I'm gonna be listening to it. This is crazy. I didn't do Ice-T and Slayer with the track I didn't even know Ice-T and Slayer did a track together. 90s soundtracks were a huge deal. Special guest, I actually, that's something he almost took the words out of my mouth one time, explaining how he feels that when it comes to cultural relevance or like record label control over like the media sphere, like it was really on soundtracks in the 90s there for a long time. Like soundtracks used to be like, you were fucking pumped if you were an artist you got on that soundtrack. Like keep in mind, like the Chronic might not have popped off if we hadn't have heard Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg in that fucking, what was the movie? Oh fuck, there was a fucking film they had a goddamn track in, right? Oh man, special guest with the hot fire on that, dude. That's crazy. The Crow soundtrack did kick off Goth 3.0. Yeah, it took it out of Morrissey shit and like really put the makeup and dusters on. Like the Crow soundtrack, like, it does to you what the Matrix should do to you, which is it makes you get tiny sunglasses and a really big duster, like a really big leather jacket. like a really long one. You know, really be that trench coat kid from school. You know what I'm saying? I used to give that kid at my high school, his name was Quentin. I assume he's not with us anymore. I don't know. Quentin was kind of a strange kid. He was kind of a trench coat kid, but I give this kid a menthol every fucking time I could. I don't even know if I never saw him smoke one, but he took a menthol from me every time I handed him one. So be nice to your trench coat kids in your high school, dude. Give them a cigarette if you got one. Even if they don't smoke, dude, they'll take it. I don't know. Fucking, I don't know. Okay, that Thrill Kill Cult song was by far their heaviest shit. Whoa. Yeah, no, the Thrill Kill Cult song that was in Natural Born Killers, it is a legit good song. Like, there's actually a lot of soundtrack work that, came out of the 90s that's just fucking phenomenal. I mean, you know, you have Tarantino, which Tarantino took the soundtrack game and treated it like his own fucking mixtapes. Like, you get the original soundtrack for a Tarantino thing and you're like, you feel like your best friend just gave you a list of his favorite songs. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was a magical soundtrack work out there, particularly in the 90s. I bought a lot of soundtracks. It's still something I like. I like having the imagery too kind of already there when I get to hear a whole song. Like, if I've discovered a song through a movie, that's always fucking cool for me. I know artists that feel the opposite, where they're like, it kills some of the artistry for them, or they don't want their song with someone else's imagery attached to it. But dude, it's such a cool moment as a fan to find a band to fall in love with, but it started with a moment in a film. It's cool. It's cool to me. I recall Thrill Kill Cult mainly for Sex on Wheels. Yeah, and Zodiac Mind Warp. Yeah. Thrill Kill Cult. That's a fucking good band. Special guest reignited a very small interest I had in a band in Godflesh when I first met him, and I can't not ape Broderick to some degree when I'm doing a certain level of like heavier music. Like, there's, I think, always going to be a little bit of Godflesh sensibility to the things I do that are heavier now, because just a beautiful conversation I've had with special guests, seeing his passion for Godflesh and kind of some of the older tracks that I kind of like just skimmed over when I was younger, enjoyed, but didn't necessarily like take in or notice the fucking how much, you know, was it Jason Broderick from like Godflesh, I think I don't want to say the wrong name, special guest, correct me if I'm wrong, but Broderick from Godflesh like influenced everybody after him, you know, like Godflesh and like, while we're talking about metal, Godflesh and why am I fucking blanking on the name? Death. Godflesh and Death, the band Death. I think influenced everything that came after him. Like, you don't, like, when you hear a fucking whole genre change after one fucking act, it's pretty undeniable. Special guest, I finally saw the Sparks Brothers documentary, and we're gonna rewatch it together. I want to watch it with you. It's on Netflix. Special guest, the Sparks Brothers documentary, and it's phenomenal. There's some conspiracy connections you're gonna make with Sparks, and you're gonna be like, this is why everyone's been so quiet about him, you know. But I got it. You're gonna like this Edgar Wright documentary, Sparks Brothers. Yeah, I think, no, death is the reason we have death metal. Like, I can't find I mean, you can find bands, I guess, contemporaries to Death that were doing similar shit, but like, when it comes to the death metal that was on the scene when I was a kid, which is what, death metal 5.0 at that point, like, it's almost solely influenced by Chuck. It's like, it's Chuck parts that go into breakdowns. Like, it's Death parts that go into breakdowns. Chuck part breakdown, Chuck part breakdown. Like, that's, you know, that it's sick. It's sick that he did that. He was able to leave that kind of impact, you know. Possessed had a song on Seven Churches that was called Death Metal. Damn, that's right. Halloween was a good band. Scott, somebody suggested a Halloween track to me the other day while I was walking down the street. I look like a Halloween fan. But But I do dig Halloween. I've never really deep dove them, so I guess I'm gonna dig it. Yeah, I straight up had a Lux. There was just a random guy said I should listen to a specific Halloween track. Just a little jarring. He was, before he talked to me, talking to himself pretty loud. He didn't seem all there, but seemed like a cool ass dude. And so yeah, had Halloween on my list there. Right? Yeah, super power metal. See, I like that shit, but I'm a big Protest the Hero fan. I still think, Fortress by Protest the Heroes, like that's like my favorite, like power. This is like one of my favorite metal records to put on. Sometimes when I'm in a metal record bench, put on Fortress by Protest the Hero. Like it's not that the genre peaked there for me. There's much more intricate or crazy or better produced records, even by Protest the Hero, I'll listen to. But like I seem to always go back to Fortress. Something about the Iron Maiden sensibility going on in the Fortress in particular by Protest the Hero. It's just like that's what I'm looking for, dude. That nailed it. that's what the song I'm looking for. I want the tap parts. I want the fucking I want the high vocals. A jockey death metal trio. See, that'd be cool. A jokey death metal trio. That'd be cool. Special guest. Dude, it'd be cool to just knock out all of the Witch Milk record and just. I think the Witch Milk record might do really good around here. In particular, hit some local venues with the Witch Milk record. We just got to throw vocals on it, find a drummer, and roll out. I think after probably 4 or 5 rehearsals, we could probably have a set for Witch Milk set up. Yeah, swing long lines of yeah, that word, dude. That would be pretty cool. Do that. That, and we could, I'm sure at some point, whatever, if we do find a drummer out here in Tucson, make sure we find a drummer that could also do Changa Haranga shit. Book 3 bands in one night. They don't even know it's all the same motherfuckers, and we just show up and play for 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like we just tool out I think I've been re-listening to the Witch Milk record every now and then. I'm like, man, this might be. I feel like we were. I was just saying that, especially. I really enjoy that Witch Milk record. Like we're on to something with that project. I think that might be something out of our batch of projects that. I think we might be onto something. It really does sound like it needs, to be mastered and shit. But like, those demos are solid. Instrumental demos solid. Like the songwriting's not bad. It's there. Like there's songwriting there. Which I think I can play that on the stream, our own shit, while I'm referencing it. I'd love to get a Witch Milk record going, or a Witch Milk band, like making an actual band. What song should I look up to listen to your stuff? What kind of music are you looking for, Hizen? Metal? Are you looking for hip hop? Are you looking for chill beats to study to? Because there's in the Merc Radio website, you have a link that'll take you to me as Merc, but I can show you some death metal and stuff that's not on that page. You like hip hop and metal both? Well, I'm your man. I got a lot out there. Again, if you go to the music, I'm Merc on Spotify, on iTunes. Let's see here. Let's go to let's see. Oh, hold up, actually. Do a whole different Chrome page so I can go to the right YouTubes. All right. So for all you murkies out there, here's the secret music page. It's unreleased stuff. But yeah. Oh, show him some Para Aduma. Okay. Which Para Aduma should I show him? Let's see what we got here. Death metal. Oh, hell yeah. AT got his stickers in the mail. Fuck yeah, dude. I really tortured special guest with this song. He showed up and the drum bed was here. And his forearm was gonna burn off the bone. Really fun batch of songs to work on. Boy, it was like Satan hopped into me and made me write some of these drum lines though. Like the way I put this bitch together and the way special guest fucking performed. I don't think I've ever had a homie come in this clutch and badass on anything I've written. Like, well, I didn't write the guitar parts is the thing. Like, he wrote the guitar. Like, he came into just drums. Well, we a little all over the place, you know, we do. Hold up, we got more Paradoom on here. I think this one might be the one that got the most plays overall. Little stoner laughs at the beginning. And then just metal that sounds like someone's murdering pigs. Like, yeah, no, special guest crushed this shit. Special guest, I mean, crushed it. You guys hear for yourselves, this is how good of a guitar player he is. He's fucking solid. But if any of you are metal vocalists out there and hearing of this and want to scream over it, hit me up. I'll record yourself screaming over it. I'll release it. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm just waiting for a vocalist. Or to record some vocals. Special guest and I might do it. I don't know. When you guys played this music live, could you still bring energy on stage, or is this music? This is a total act of studio right here. I've never played this record live. I couldn't tell you. I'd like to think special guest brings energy no matter what he's playing, so I know special guest would be moving around. Me, it depends on my mood in the day, like of the show. I've played shows where I don't move at all. I did a whole tenure with a band where I was John Entwistle the whole time. I didn't move. This wasn't me. I think one show I fucking let out, and that was it. But I've been kind of like on a vow of silence trip with like the public. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little different too when you record something sitting down in a studio, like in a controlled room, with like it playing to the edge of your abilities is different when you're live. When you're playing to the edge of your ability live, the off notes aren't as important. There's little things that make it a little easier for you and make it seem like, wow, that was a bitch to track, but live I don't really have a problem. I've known a lot of people who say that exact thing. But yeah, there's definitely some solos I've heard Special Guest rip where I'm like, I don't know how I don't even know how he did it with the motions he has with his human body to begin with. So I'm not sure how he could move even his head live while doing it, but you know. Oh yeah, dude from Kill Switch. Yeah, but to be fair too, I can play a lot of Kill Switch Engage songs in my sleep. Like, those are pretty easy songs. they're good songs, like End of Heartache and stuff. Like, I know some Kill Switch Engage songs. You know, yeah, I can jam some. I do some Kill Switch Engage. Oh yeah, Special Guest is the guy. He's the guitar player on the. I throw some guitar down on. This is mostly, yeah, I think in the first record, it's like, I think I have like one track I really do rhythm guitar on. The rest I do the drums. I did the drums for. We do have a record I did some guitar on. Both of us are doing guitar. I think this is both of us. Oh no, this is just special. This track is crazy. Hold up. Special Guest, remember this shit? Like, I didn't even. I forgot I had this drum track stashed back. Because it's got weird changes in this song. This song is like, rhythmically is one of the weirder things I've put together, but like, Special Guest had no problem with it. Makes me make gross faces every time with his guitar lines, but like fucking nasty. Yeah, it's a cruel track. There's cuts and cuts and cuts. Yeah, there's times where I had to like. I was really Special Guest really studio guitar player does nuts off on this one. Like, yeah, that's the plan. Is to have vocals. Looking for the right vocalist. Yeah, if not, Special Guest and I are gonna do it. I couldn't believe you figured this one out though. Like, finding the flow of like this particular blast thing you don't really, until I break it down, it's kind of a weird one to find a riff to. But Special Guest nailed it. And the riff works through the breakdown. Like, it. You also not hear me write a lot of breakdowns. I don't really do that shit. I kind of like shit like death, like faster shit. Like, if I'm doing metal, I want it to be kind of. There's no questions. It's metal, you know, like. But I hadn't composed, written, I hadn't even digitally done anything really metal in a long time before this. Like, definitely nothing with blast beats, you know, with this fast drum style. But I also wanted it to be something that old heads liked. Old metalheads could get in on. Because I'm kind of an old metalhead. I don't really like some of the newer shit. I'm not trying to be anything but heavy. Special Guest isn't trying to be anything but heavy on this record, and I really like it for that. Not trying to blend in with a trend, you know. You know a guy isn't fucking anywhere. He can hit me up. I'll send him the tracks. He can scream over them if he wants to record. Yeah, isn't. my email, anywhere. Any of the like contact me shit attached to the description of the channel. But find me on social media, we'll hook up. Looking for metal vocalists and rappers. Always. Special guest and I had some fun doing some of this like noise stuff too. You guys will hear some of this like sample work happen. This is us just having fun, baby. That was us taking a break, smoking some weed, getting some samples for you in the track. This is me playing guitar. As you can tell, I'm relying on pedals. It's a different guitar style, especially I'm not quite as the shred daddy. See, I like Maiden kind of shit. I don't that. And then even in a track where I've started a guitar part, I'll have special guests come in like, how do I put the bridge on this? I like being the bass player, the guy who composes the drums, or the producer. Kings Amongst Men on YouTube. It's his last band. He spent a bunch of money on equipment in the studio time, but he was the only one putting it into the band, so it fell apart. Oh, damn! Well, he sounds perfect for us, dude, because I got, that's kind of the issues I've bumped into, but I've also been the unreliable member of a band, so I've been on both sides. But I'll hit him up. Kings Amongst Men. I'll check out that name. Special guest is good at understanding when I'm doing like a breaks thing too, like that little riff there that goes into this. He's really good at knowing what I'm stepping in with some stuff. Like I don't even like. Dude's a riff monster. You give him a beat, he'll get a riff. If not, go down the road, get him a Red Bull, he'll get a riff. He'll get one. But special guest is one of those studio musicians that, as a producer, you do your best to pull the best performance out of somebody, and by that, you're kind of dragging them to the edge of their ability, right? You're trying to really put them to fucking work, and I've never had to like, dude, I've thrown shit at people. Like, he's never been like, it's never been like that with him. Like, he's quicker to get to the edge of his abilities than I am. I have to produce myself harder than I produce special guests. Like, it's pretty great as like that's why you guys see me. That's my collaborator. That's why. That's the big reason why. Like, I don't not a lot of people you can say edge of your abilities now and they just do it, Yeah, drummers are always needed, but I'm over that. If I can't do it myself, then I'll program it and make it let a computer fucking do it. They have a lot of shit to carry. They play an expensive fucking set of instruments. And drummers are also picky in the studio. Some drummers want you to mic every fucking cymbal and fucking drum, and I'm just not gonna. You better get it figured out fucking quicker than my VSTs, because my VSTs sound just like real drums now. So I don't. Yeah. I get weird with drummers. I don't have patience for band members anymore. Like, I don't, do it or don't. Like, yeah, so much of a pain. Yeah, again, that's another thing too. Like, drummers are always the person you love. I love you, motherfucker, but get your mics put up already, goddammit. Like shit like that. Like, it's But my dream drummer, I think my favorite. I've never been in a band, honestly, with drummers who have the problems I'm talking about. It's always people I've tried to record that I've never been in a band with that are like, dude, we don't need your drums to be like that. Like, it ain't like that. Like, you can... I'll fucking replace you with Logic Pro drums if you don't get your shit together and up and going and, you know, ready for me to mic and record. Like, do you mix the drums in one mix or do you split them off and mix one of those? Okay, so Hizen, for these tracks, right, I had an incredible... I didn't have any MIDI blast beats. So I had to do a mix of making MIDI blast beats and sampling blank drums from other records. So I did a mix of a lot of different things. I did for these drums, like, but they functionally had their own production process, and then I bounced them down, and then Special Guest recorded over that. So it's like I did it like that, but. Yeah. Yeah, depends on the track. Like, do I need that? Yeah. Exactly. Do you need that level of definition? Like, it's all about, like, what the instrument is suiting for the track, right? So, you know. Yeah, they're just a stereo mix, though. Like, this is just a stereo bounce down of stuff I ran through it. Like, they had their own shit show of a track with me building these drums, but I did it really quick, bounced them down, moved them over. And so the stereo mix of the drums is the stereo mix of the drums as if they were in a live room. Yeah. Yeah, especially, yeah, right, yeah, writing to the mix is, we did it I do pretty old school with my digital setup sometimes. Like, that's kind of my goal, is to make it as back to the days of Cool Edit Pro or like a old Tascam recorder as I can get. It's also easier on your CPU the farther you go, and you end up with some interesting things you might not have realized you could do if you don't sometimes just like do a full drum production, get the drums sounding exactly how you like them, bounce some shits down stereo, write all your guitar parts to the stereo mix. If you want to do the complex drum thing later, open it up, but it's such a shit show for me that if you adjust one thing, sometimes it'll fuck the whole thing. Hey, you take it easy, Special Guest. But the record...
I haven't heard of Cool Edit Pro in forever.
Oh, right. Cool Edit Pro is, I think about it all the time. Like, it's the app I go back to probably the most in my head. Like, it's where I think I cut my teeth when it comes to like making weird shit with a recording device. Because this is one cool thing about Cool Edit Pro, you could like flip shit backwards, add reverb, add delays, there's little small things I could do as a kid that sometimes I think about. Like there's functionalities that Cool Edit Pro has that Logic doesn't have. Like reverse audio file. Like just flipping an audio file reversed so it plays backwards. I, for some reason, can't do that in fucking Logic. Like that's a functionality Logic does not have or have easy access to. Like I think there's a way to do it, but you have to resample it. And it's like, what the fuck? Why can't I just right click reverse? But Cool Edit was that level of ease of functionality to fuck with an audio sample taught me a lot. You sit and listen back to weird shit you've tracked and manipulated, and yeah, using their demo take because they just couldn't recreate the sound they captured. Exactly, Hizen. Yeah, there's something about once you have like with drums in particular, like all these metal drums, I knew that it's going to be pretty heavily reliant on Special Guest. Because the prompt was, you should make me some blast beats. So that's how I went about it, was like as if the end product was someone who had performed blast beats in a room ready to go for a song. So like, the song is there, the composition's there, the rhythmic composition is there, but the melody, the guitar parts, the actual sheet music for the instruments, not there yet. But the rhythm, we got it. It's here. Like... And just go. But I'm also kind of a go person. I don't like fucking waiting around on a project too long. It's still killing me that these don't have vocals on them. Like, I've released probably 5 Merc records since I've recorded these, and I don't, it fucking sucks. Like, I don't want it to be that way. But this is the record I was talking about. Witch Milk. It's just a rock and roll band. the concept was it's only one guitar track and one drum track. We take the one guitar track, and for leads, we run it through another channel of effects with a pitch bender. So it's as if it was a performance with two guys, but it sounds like there's a lot going on. Cool concept. The record turned out all right. Like, I'm not mad at the riffs. There's some moments in here that are really good. I think it could really smash it live with some old heads, you know? But yeah, special guest understanding this break here was pretty phenomenal. Because I'm getting too close to Master of Puppets, and he at one point when we were tracking it got like at Master of Puppets, and I think we rewrote Master of Puppets at one point. We're like, wait, hold on. Oh wait, that's Master of Puppets. Fuck. What tuning is it in? Let's see. We'll have to ask special guest. I forget. Because we had a certain amount of things tuned. Okay, so all the death metals drop A. Functionally. Like, it's drop A. Like, it's a 7-string guitar. Lowest is A. These records, I'm pretty sure everything is flat. Like, this record, everything is, like, flat, and he's playing on his... Fernandez, but I might be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure it's basically like drop D flat. Like, it's not even that heavy of a tuning for this record. Like, or it might have been drop A flat, but like with like a whole bunch of. No, we only used one guitar. I have to ask. I don't remember specifically which tuning we used for this record. I want to say drop A flat. It's a flat, I believe, for sure. I thought this one turned out pretty phenomenally. This track's got a big open kind of doom atmosphere to it, you know. Yeah, see, that's my goal, is to not go so low that it's atonal necessarily. You can go atonal if you want to, but you can still pop into classic rock territory, you know. Word hisn'. If you got them, smoke them right now, I guess it's that time of day. Hannukah night too, but also something I want to, in retrospect, at the time when I recorded this, I wanted it to be instrumental, but I kind of want vocals on this shit now. I want vocals on all of it. I just do. Yeah, and I special guest had a Fernandez that was an E flat, and so it's such a solo. It's so good for the solos that special guest actually he would use that E flat rig. He'd use the E flat rig on like something that's in a standard tuning, which is fucking hard as shit. But I've heard him nail solos, you know. It looks all kinds of crazy, but it fucking works. Oh, right on. Yeah. I'll try to drop these links in our Discord too, just so we can, you know. Oh yeah, Northlane instrumental tracks are dope. Yeah. Yeah, I love. You know, instrumental metal is something I do love. I the older I've gotten, the more I've kind of fallen in love with the vocal though. Like I went a really long time with nothing to say and didn't really say anything on a record, and you know. Oh, it's in the description here. Does anybody mind sharing the Discord link? If anybody's near a keyboard. Unfortunately, I can't type in it right now. I'd have to go into a different thing. But it's actually in the description of this video. There's like the Merc Radio. It'll say Discord link below. At the very bottom of the web page, there's a little Discord icon. You can click on that. Should take you to us. Oh, thank you, Brenner. Again, it's all of this is like special guests. I threw these drums together pretty quick because they're pretty simplistic drums. The prompt for me on this record was make drums I can play live. So I only made stuff I knew I could do live. You know. Oh shit, the link's expired. Oh shit. I gotta fix the website. You don't do nothing. I was just looking this way to stretch my neck. You're busy. But shit, hold on. Well, oh, you sent a link, but it disappeared. Oh, did you put it in the YouTube chat? I don't know why fucking links aren't sharing today. What was that?
The one on the website is good.
Oh, the one on the website's good now. Lux just fixed it because she's a queen and really good at that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, I'm not sure how people share links, but they're able to. I've seen them. You might have to use Twitch to share the link. I don't know. I don't know if YouTube actually lets you, but I've seen people share them. I don't know how it happens. Special guest is also good at dialing in tough. Like, it's kind of a tough riff, you know what I'm saying? Like one of those like I don't think I could have gotten to that riff if I would have tried to put the guitar on this record. You know what I mean? Like, he's good at dialing in tough in a way I'm not necessarily attuned to. Okay. Yeah, hopefully lets you in now. But big record, lots of kind of like whole note kind of stuff, you know. I made the drums roll. Kind of the shit I was just listening to instrumentally, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of instrumental, like, kind of doom and sludge I was listening to at the time. I had a real kind of slick concept with this was actually the fourth record in a row Special Guest and I had tracked like a marathon. Like, we did all of those, like we did 3 EPs of the Para Aduma material in a row, So like a whole band's career in a row, you know what I mean? And then we did these Witch Milk demos, and then we kind of went back to doing Merc and like more electronic stuff for a little bit. But Changa Haranga, a lot of stuff came out of these metal sessions that's still kind of in the works. It's pretty beautiful, but that's really the only downside to being prolific, is sometimes you build stuff up and it, you know, what gets released, and some stuff doesn't get released till later, and it's kind of just, it was kind of constant, like, knives in your heart, like, fuck, I gotta get this out. I want to release this record so bad. So I have this, like, Basement Tapes YouTube channel where I kind of, on the sly, put little, like, 3 songs from the EP, or, like, this is the full Witch Milk demo, but I think it might be the only full demo I have on this YouTube. But like, I'll put like partials of the demos on here, just to fucking get it out and remind myself, like, hey, you love this fucking idea, don't forget about it, just because something else popped off. Oh, you love it? Word. See, this is why I think, I've noticed too, when I put that's another reason I'll put these samples up, is I get to kind of show them off sometimes, and I get a little bit of feedback, a little bit of analytics as to maybe what floats the best to who. And while this one might not get the most plays on the YouTube, on the secret YouTube, it does have like the most people interacting with me about it. Like, hey, is that a record I can buy? And it's like, not yet. It's definitely something, like a project I want to finish. Like, I want to see all the way through, get it on its own legs where we can play live and see what becomes of Witch Milk. You know, sometimes you just have to kind of throw things in the incubator. You gotta throw things in the microwave, and you know, the kernels that pop are the kernels that pop. But I think this one's got something to it, you know. I didn't see the link, Brinrar, but I don't know. YouTube's kind of a hoe, but we did fix the Discord link on the website. So if anybody wants to get on the Discord now through the website, in the description, it should be working. It expired. I'm not. Yeah, but should be good now. I also like what Special Guest did here. I had no riff ideas for this track, but this is just step. We might have like done the drum like as we were writing the idea out, but there's no. A Special Guest, just a phenomenal. Sometimes too, like we'll take turns. You know, sometimes Special Guest needs me to build the walls and he'll decorate them, and sometimes I need him to build the walls and I'll decorate them. You know, it's really important, I think, sometimes that people have that kind of artistic relationship with somebody. It's freeing in a way that I had never experienced before, and that's kind of why I can release as much as I release, as old as I am. You know, I'm working with another person that's kind of, I'm able to kind of, it's a symbiosis. It's fucking, I've never quite had a musical collaborator where it just, this much product comes out of it. Fruitful. Which we're gearing up to do more studio stuff, but again, I want to use the time hella wisely and maybe wrap up some of the stuff we've, you know, taken to the finish line almost, and actually run it through that fucking ribbon, you know. And I still think this might be the record. Which is, you know, is the least work I put in on 4 records, so it's, you know what I mean, probably surprising. If anybody who saw me write, like, doing the drums for this shit, like, they're like, why that one? I'm like, well, like, people like it the most. I think it's the most listenable. It's all listenable in my opinion if you like the genre, but like, This record in particular, I barely remember tracking it. Honestly, we did it so fast too. Like it's a drum track and a guitar track, and then we manipulate the guitar track in a third channel. And that's it. That's it. Do you know what Frazzle Drip is? I don't. What's Frazzle Drip? Sounds interesting. Whatever Frazzle Drip is. Are they a band? Snap. But I do all kinds of different music production. But this little secret YouTube channel I've got pulled up is where I stash the guitar sauce. You guys are like guitar nerds. You want the guitar sauce. You want to hear special guest or I shred some licks or something. You want some fresh spicy riffs. I got a YouTube channel for it. You know, once things get to a certain level, though, you gotta pay me for them riffs. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm hearing less complaints about the quality of this stream. I'm going to assume they're having issues when you monetize a stream lately. That's the only thing different I did, was I did not monetize this stream. We hit the daily hashtags for the day and we got to cover the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, so I'm hella satisfied with the video we made. I'm sorry it's been lagging out. I hope it's not attacks from fucking crazy ex-girlfriend, like, white males. When people get bounced out of this show and that's all they can think about after they leave. Again, I couldn't imagine what it's like to be so fragile, have so little going on. They getting bounced out of Merc Radio is like the end of your fucking, it's like the worst part of your day. Like, fucking weird. Man, and yeah, that's actually the end of it. It's a 20, what are we at? Yeah, no, it's like a proper EP. It's like a 22-minute EP. Got posted on YouTube. It's pretty solid. I really enjoy it. We did a couple tracks with Esben Willems of Monolord. I don't know if you guys know Monolord. They're pretty popular in like the I think they're signed to Relapse Records. So like if you're in like the Relapse Records kind of like heavier music, he released, when COVID first popped off, he released some drum beds. And Special Guest and I put some music to his drum beds that he released for musicians to do that to. I'm kind of proud of those riffs. Got some pretty juice. It's all right. It's pretty good. It's cool. It's got Esben Willems of Monolord. You know, that's kind of cool. But I made some bullshit cover art and threw that shit on YouTube pretty quick. I was like, yeah, I like it. I thought I fell into a cool, like, I don't know, like a cool lane with it. Like, I'd heard other people's kind of contributions to these beds, and I thought that we had, so it was pretty unique shit. I know Esben Willem of Monolord fucking shared it on his social media, so that was a cool little boost for our, just for Merc Records and like the Broken Rhythm music group, kind of like back end of things. It's, heavy music.
Watch
friend in Tennessee that plays the drums, her husband and her sister, I've heard both of them singing and they've got great voices.
Ooh. I like that. That's cool. See, a cool, like, one of my favorite bands right now is Paris Monster. It's led by Josh Dion, who's a drummer, synthesizer player, and the lead vocalist all at the same time. Like, he's playing keyboard with one hand, drums with all three other limbs, and also singing like he's fucking from a blues background. Like, it's crazy. He's got a cool vibe going on.
One-man band.
Yeah. And then he has a bass player that like does heroin and makes sounds. That's like that's like the most uneven band I've ever seen. Like if Paris Monster as a two-piece was on a teeter-totter, it's kind of like, well, Josh Dion is pulling a lot of the weight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what their studio process is like, but Paris Monster in particular, yeah. Which I'm still disappointed. Their most recent album has not that many plays. I have YouTube videos that have more plays than their album collectively, and that makes me mad. More people need to listen to Paris Monster. Paris Monster is a sick ass band. They're only gonna make cooler shit, so they're not gonna stop being cool as fuck. Frazzle Drip is the Hillary Clinton video of the Anthony Weiner laptop. I posted some vids in the Discord showing Ellen pretty much flaunting Frazzle Drip. Showing Ellen like DeGeneres? What's Frazzle Drip? I still don't understand what that is. What's on the vid? I don't know. What's the Anthony Weiner vid that was discovered? What was she doing in the video? Was it scandalicious? We did some psychedelic shit here too. This is really, I like this little break in this track. In little moments, I think Special Guest and I just nail it as kind of a duo of composers. Like, oh, bro, you don't want to look that up. Think Kids Without Face. Oh, Without Faces. Oh. Oh, no, I haven't heard about that, isn't it? Yeah. And then I cut the effect, man. There's just a little moment there I really enjoy where I cut an effect manually with a knob. Woo! And you can hear it fucking kick into the next song. It's fucking cool. I dig it. What up, Special Guest? Oh, I'm talking about the collaboration we did with, like, oh yeah. Sorry, yeah. We're going down. It's Hannukah night too. Let's talk about. I'm down to answer any music questions too. By the, I don't give a shit. I love reviewing music too. People send stuff. I love to do reviews. But ooh. Let's see. Look at the vids I posted on Discord. Special isn't that. So yeah, I assume it's a form of psyop, but regardless, it's fucking traumatizing. Yeah, I would imagine it's a psyop. But I mean, again, the whole kind of adrenochrome conspiracy kind of reeks of psyop. Like, it's a very convenient bad guy. You know, for something that's, you know, let's say that is a tentacle on the octopus. You're still not fighting the whole octopus. If you're fighting for the adrenochrome conspiracy, I just don't, you know, that's why I don't really bite too heavy on that kind of stuff. I don't label myself as that kind of shit or go out doing that, you know, I don't. Special guest lead. I kept telling him to dumb it down. So you get this kind of like slick ass deserty whole note performance. I like it. Yeah, tied to cults like the Solar Temple. Like it's, I'm convinced now the purpose of like operations like this are to get people to label themselves to the establishment so they can put that in your fucking file. Like I'm not Biden. You guys can all day. Again, no shame. Like is there much evidence they're doing it? No. Is there enough for people to believe it? Yeah, obviously people do. So. Not saying it doesn't happen even, I don't know, but the government wants to know. No, I've never been to one of those protests. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about no frazzle drip. I don't know. Yeah, especially with it being potentially tied to cults in the Solar Temple, but the Q phenomena seems to be a form of Bezmennikov judo, designed to take what is likely true, what is likely true, and then move it far past to being capable of ridicule due to specific points being disprovable. Exactly, special guest. We know for certain there's people in high society who have done kind of like really weird shit, and the way they can hide behind the weird shit they've done is because nobody would possibly believe they've done that weird shit. Yeah, it goes back to schnazzies and the goddamn Cold War stay behind armies. No, for sure, special guest. That's why I don't normally. That's specifically why I don't really. You can kind of see the MO if you follow our conspiracy show. Like, if you follow our conspiracy show, we got it laid out pretty solid. Like, there are means in which the U.S. government likes to control us, and they released a document on their document on repugnant ideology. And they use that. They use that on us. They don't mind being more evil than the most evil to prevent, the collapse, or to have a contingency for the collapse. So some sense of what we were stays behind. And it's just I don't agree with the methodology they use in that. Like that's such a twisted, weird, outdated methodology. Do I have a better solution for what to do in it as a contingency for imminent collapse? No, not at the moment. But there has to be something better than this like repugnant ideology stay behind group where you just leave a bunch of fucking helter skelter cats out there, and when the shit show happens, you just have warlordism. But I don't know. Well, that was our, 2-3 tracks? Do we still have another track on this bitch? Hold on. No. That's our 10 minutes with Esben Willems of Monolord. Get a track I really dig. This Jenga Harenga shit's still probably my favorite, though. I love the gorilla. Yeah. Oh, they do it for a simple reason? Yeah. I mean, control. I mean, yeah. Yeah, because the first thing that happens to revolutionary vanguards after the revolution is they get liquidated. Yeah, yeah. Well, that is the big, it's a question the Doctor in Doctor Who ask a fucking Zygon, point blank. Like, what do you do if you win this glorious rebellion? What do you do with the next rebels? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about rebels? What are you going to do about people who are like you in the future? And, You find a place for them. You get them to label themselves. We built a country on rebellion. Yeah. What else do? You get them to label themselves and black van themselves like Trump did on January 6th, where you got a bunch of wealthy, smart people on the books to fly fucking coach to a riot where they all got arrested. They couldn't fly home. They could. Isn't the stupidest shit I've ever seen wealthy people do. Yeah. Yeah, who goes to bat for Manson? Yeah, the members of your next generation stay behind army. Yeah, there's people who are always going to kind of be persuaded into that form of ideology, that sensibility, that like, oh, what we're building is going to outlive the apocalypse, and we're going to rise up like fucking cockroaches and, you know, inherit the earth. It's like, oh, well, we're definitely not going anywhere as a species, Hizen, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I mean, I'm a bit worried about the Biden administration. I think they're slow to act. I don't think it's an administration that necessarily knows what it's dealing with. In terms of like COVID, our financial situation, the financial needs of the nation, I just don't think I think it seems like right now our current administration is a little removed from what we're up to here on the street. And you know, where's that other fucking stimulus check, dude? I don't think he fucking released one. Like child tax credits, that's weird. It's a weird change.
We get child tax credits here.
Yeah. Special guest, my suggestion: don't lose so you don't need a stay behind army. Exactly, don't lose the Cold War. That's such a hard thing to gamble on, dude. I think it's still fucking going on. Like, we don't know what the fuck Russia's got. Dude, they're shutting down fucking aircraft carriers and shit. Like they're shutting down computer systems and shit remotely. Like, they do shit to our military that's like kind of it shows that they might have something fucking crazy up their fucking sleeve. Yeah. Oh, the hyperinflation might get crazy. Yeah, you might see the dollar look more like yen. Yeah, I mean, that's bound to happen. It's a Western market, so like these westernized, the way they're built, it happens like this. Like it'll end up like yen. Like, yeah, but. Well, war is fought differently. You have war to control resources, so you'll have escalating conflicts in the Middle East. But I don't see a ground war happening on a global scale like World War II ever again. I think we'll find a different way to fight it, and we do see that right now. Like, we have a digital warfare going on in this country that's fucking weird, like a weird digital warfare. Special guest says now Russia is jamming complexes that shut down our top-end boats. Yeah, the Chinese have supersonic missiles. We have an F-35 that we've barely just fixed, and it's already behind. Exactly, special guest. We have people leaving leaving their military contracts, saying that we're so far behind it's fucking pointless and scary. Like, we might be stuck in the fucking 90s with our gear. Like, which would be sad, because that means that our last big technological acquisition and application started back in the 40s. Like, and we really haven't had like that. I mean, well, we had a big PR push over the stealth bomber when I was a kid, because that was hot shit. When was the last time anyone heard anything about that black stealth bomber thing from the 90s? Like, I don't hear about that shit ever at all anymore. Yeah.
I thought that was funny when they first brought that out, and We had an air show over here in the UK, and we picked it up on radar before it reached here, and they didn't like it.
Yep. It wasn't actually. It was a big fucking PR stunt, is what it felt like. Like, that's not what your fucking anti-radar aircraft looks like. Why would you release that to the public? It's because we started seeing them all over the U.S., but like, I don't know. It's a whole. That's such a shit. It's such a shit show aircraft, and you don't see anything about them anymore. The bitch rolled out like the Tesla truck, and then you never saw one on the road, like, ever. Like, I haven't seen that black stealth bomber in forever. Special guest says, what's going on between Poland and Belarus right now is a prime example of that. What is this? What is it? I think the main thing we have to worry about is the current hybrid warfare strategies being implemented by Russia and China. Exactly. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Like, the way we fight now is different. Like, there's a digital side to the war where they'll obstruct your governmental processes and your infrastructure through the internet, which wasn't really an option before.
Got as high as Space Wars now.
Yeah. Yo, hey Christy, hey Hizen, I want a Tesla truck too. That shit does look cool. I won't lie, like, it rolled out, you know. Bitch had cool press to it. I like this part real quick. Hold on, just let's see.
Tesla car roaming around space.
Oh fuck yeah. Dude, everybody, you know, kind of shat on the design at first, and I'm like, yeah, it looks like it's fucking anti-radar from the 90s, but it's cool as fuck. Let's see, especially because tribalistic response to
US. Pretty cool Tesla cars, actually.
Yeah.
I was looking at a car the other day on YouTube, but it's actually the only one in the world, and it's got these like blue neon flashing lights on the wheels and whatever. It looks so futuristic.
Yeah. See, that's a special guest is they say that, what they're doing digitally in these situations, like with China and Russia interfering with our country, is they're making tribalistic responses seem normal and rational, and then you're having tribalistic responses happen out. You know what I mean? Like, in tribalistic response for nothing. Like, it's like not your like they've drawn even more lines across the United States population outside of class, race, and politics. They've built new little weird subgenres. Again, you see people coming here, they're like anti-vaxxers really hard, like just some crazy fuckers that roll through here that are obviously like persuaded by this like kind of Russian Chinese digital push for nonsense and these like crazy conspiracies and like ways to lock people into shit, like and yeah, what they're trying to do is get us to group together and respond and break down our fucking infrastructure, our society, our culture, make us redefine what our culture is fucking constantly. Like, that's not just our media making, like, doing that. That's not just, like, that's a little bit of the world too. Like, you know, do we do it? Yeah. Do the young college types do it? Yeah, but that's the college types' job. Okay, we can be mad at college youth all fucking day, but it's their job to be contrary and different and explore and look for new ideas and ways of thinking. It's the establishment's job in the society to not be brittle and hold firm. So, yeah, you know, it's designed to put us in a constant state of what is called future shock, says special guest. And yeah, it is. Yeah, future shock. Yeah, you're constantly spooked or shocked or jarred or front loaded with something, or there's a talking point. They made everybody have like the same kind of like college freshman level of zeal when it comes to their particular conspiracy or opinion, and that's gross. I don't know how they pulled that off, but it's like it's really gotten to that point where people really feel like oppressed because they believe in a conspiracy, and like that's not oppression. It's not. Like, that's not an oppressed, like, that's you're spitting a theory. You got to build your own platform for that kind of shit. Like, you don't, you know. But that kind of also goes back to me being upset that social media is normalized using rhetoric as if this is a public utility, like as if it's not something that people can change, like a channel. Like it becomes suddenly this like something that you can equate people on. It's something you should equate yourself on. And that's not real life. It's crazy. It's crazy they're being like that. Like, just fucking nitty. All right, hold up. Let's go back to the news. Let's see if anybody in the news is covering the opening statements and for the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Let's see here. We got BBC News an hour ago. Let's see. We got some portraits from the fucking place. Boom. Timeline of key moments. Okay, I'm gonna leave that open. The BBC has this whole thing. They're covering that shit live still. Again, not televised. I'm just gonna go to YouTube, see what we got. Just make sure we're not missing any. Oh shit, people are gathering outside the fucking courthouse in the trial. Whoa. Here's from France 24.
For us today is our correspondent Jessica Lemazaria. She's currently outside the courthouse where proceedings are taking place. We can speak to her right now. Jessica, talk to us a bit about what's happened so far today and what we can come to expect in the coming days.
Well, Nadia, so far jury selection is still being completed, but we do expect that the selection will be made final this Monday and that opening arguments will begin. So we'll hear from the defence and the prosecution as they lay out the case as they see it. Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial for sex trafficking crimes. There are 4 women who have brought charges against her, and these crimes are alleged to have taken place between
Paint an evil person without making her look too evil, but also let the audience know that you think she's evil.
She recruited,
Charcoal artist nailed it.
and then pushed underage teenage girls into sexually exploitative situations with Jeffrey Epstein, the late billionaire, who, of course, you may remember, died in jail here in New York in 2019. A year after that, Ghislaine Maxwell was arrested, and now she is finally going to face justice here in New York. Now, the prosecution
Man, is she picked on Princess Di?
She was really a mastermind
back in the
of
day.
these sex acts, and that
Dude,
she
fuck
actively
her.
went out and recruited these.
Yeah, she
these
did.
girls,
She reduced her to
but
tears.
the defense
That's
says,
crazy.
she is being made
That's
a
mean girl
scapegoat
shit,
after
dude.
Jeffrey Epstein himself passed away.
Jessica, Maxwell's trial comes in the wake of the Me Too movement, doesn't it? Which encouraged women to speak out against abusive men. In that context, how important do you think this case is?
Well, this is a very important case for the Me Too movement. First of all, because the victims of Jeffrey Epstein and of Ghislaine Maxwell, the alleged victims, will get their day in court. They are now seeing justice, and some of them expressed their relief as they arrive for proceedings this Monday. It's also a very important case due to the fact that Epstein allegedly had ties to some very important, powerful people, including Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Les Wexner, the billionaire of Victoria's Secret, and also, of course,
That's right,
UK's,
Alan Tolfie. Yeah, the
Prince
book in the
Andrew.
1970s. I thought
Now,
Future Shock was a book.
They may
It's been a
or
record
not
too.
come up in this case, but what is perhaps most important is also that a woman and a co-conspirator is on trial this time. So it really adds a new dimension. And will she...
Special guest. Guess what Process Church affiliate was on the logs, and we saw it on the last stream. I don't know if you saw this shit. John Peters is on the flight logs for Epstein. And, yeah, No, I do too. His and I hope all these fucking creeps go down, and that goes across the board too. Like, there's been creeps that have been working in the music industry. There's a country music dude that's like notorious for it. There's like a whole bunch of fucking names. You know, anybody who's even brushed shoulders with any entertainment industry could fucking drop, and they'll need to fucking go down. But yeah, special guest John Peters was out there. So I'm just saying, like, I think there might be even like a tattered map connection to the Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein stuff when it comes to like, because look, I think there might need to be a whole like UK centric episode of the Tattered Map where we kind of break down kind of the conspiracies that come out of the UK and some of their implementation of, you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to make more research for you though, like that. But I do want to do a whole like, because it's got to tie to the why John Peters is not relevant to anything, particularly at the time he was flying with the dude. Like, other than being an occult daddy, like in these circles, I don't know why John Peters was. We know he's not there for underage girls because it's John Peters. He's homosexual. I don't why. You know, do the Castle dossier and the Dickens dossier. Okay, cool, especially. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I figured you'd have come and clutch or something. I'm like, but I think we should do a UK centric one. I think there's some kind of, you know, this might sound like a peripheral connection at best, conspiratorially, but you know, I think there's one here.
Face justice. Will she, as the defence argues, be made a scapegoat in some sense, or was she really
there was something mentioned years ago about Lady Di knowing about some form of rape by a member of the royal family before she died?
See, and I always thought, I heard that, and you know, after she said that, the press had reported that she had distanced herself from Andrew but not Fergie. But she like had damn near refused being around Prince Andrew, but was still best friends with Fergie.
Somebody was raped in the palace apparently by a royal member.
Damn. Here's outside of the courthouse for the Ghislaine trial. But I'm glad it's finally starting. You know, we just got to keep her alive through the whole trial. But I think everybody across the board in the United States anyway feels like Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself in that cell, and they do not believe the official reports. That's been the general consensus on the street I've heard. I don't think I've talked to a single person that believes the official narrative on how Jeffrey Epstein died. How do you guys feel about it? Let me stick my finger in the water real quick. Let me dip a toe real quick in the hot tub. You know, you guys think that's bullshit? I mean, it seems like everybody across the board. Like when I say like Epstein didn't kill himself, it seems like if I was to just walk into a bar and say that, I would get cheers, you know, as opposed to jeers, which, you know. Maybe it depends on the moment.
He definitely didn't kill himself. That weren't no suicide. Definitely not.
Yeah. I've seen Republicans not believe it. I've seen Democrats not believe it. I've heard them both blame each other. I've heard them both blame Israel. So I don't know, you know, what the fucking... I know I don't believe the official story like everybody else. You know...
We've got Boris Johnson's sister over here is backing Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh. Whoa. So in the UK, you might walk into a couple of House of Lords and they're like, by Jove, she's John's daughter and it's fine. Which is, you know, it's okay. That's all right. You can be a parliamentarian. You can be a staunch, you know, it's all right. I'm fine with that. You can be that way. That's an ancient institution that you know, they're going to back each other. You know what I mean? Like, I see what they're doing there. Fucking, dude, he cracks me up so much. Boris Johnson, he will not confirm or deny how many children he has. Who? Do you imagine a U.S. president pulling that shit? Like, will not confirm or deny how many fucking kids he has, or if he even has kids. Like, we would be suing the fucking government.
Prince Andrew, not Prince Andrew, Prince Charles and Camilla Parker Bowles apparently had a secret child.
Oh, really? Like before they were married?
Yeah, the child was adopted, but they used to visit the child, and the child now found out who the parents are.
Holy shit. Was it before he had his sons?
It was before he was with Lady Di, yeah.
Oh, fuck. Is it a male?
Yeah.
Since the Royal Marriages Act happened, that kid is the rightful heir to the throne.
Apparently not, because he was an illegitimate child.
Oh, I guess during conception and birth. But the government's been amended because of the Royal Marriages Act. Like what Camilla and Charles have now is totally legal. But I guess, yeah, in the Church of England's eyes, they would have conceived and birthed that kid out of wedlock and shit.
Apparently our real heir to the throne refuses to be king and has emigrated to Australia and has 2 daughters. You'll see a documentary where somebody, a reporter went over to actually interview the guy, and he asked him if he would ever would ever take the throne, and he's got no interest in being the King of England at all.
Damn. Yeah, I mean, most people don't want that fucking job. And I mean, the government's gonna make sure, like, Charles and William get it. Like, Charles at this point, that's, you know, they went through the whole Royal Marriages Act.
This guy is actually, he's still connected. He's still a lord or something as well.
Oh shit!
He's still like got status. He's got a title.
What's his connection to the current royal family? Is he a Windsor? Like, is he related to the Windsors? Is it before that?
He goes back before.
It's like a
I can't remember. I watched the documentaries quite a while ago.
Like a Plantagenet, or like a not a Plantagenet, like a Stuart, or like a, you know what I mean, like one of the other.
It's getting on a bit as well. So like, even when he passes away, that right will go to his daughter. He's got 2 daughters.
That's right. Damn. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot that, you know, the Windsors are transplants. You know, they're
we've
German.
got an actor here as well. There's an actor here that is more royal blood than the Queen as well.
I've heard.
Yeah,
I've heard that there's actually more. Well, I mean, you know, they're German. They're, you know, they're the, what is it,
she's German blood originally.
Yeah, like Saxe-Coburg.
She was born in England.
Yes, so she English, but I mean, when it comes to like, blood, again, like their family lineage, like Windsor's in a changed name from like, was it Saxe-Coburg? Like they were a straight up German family. Like, Queen Victoria said, "Bitch, hell no." And then was it Edward? One of the Edwards, I thought, made it like, "No, I'm fucking British." You know what I mean? Like I'm not. I was fucking born here. I'm not German, and we're changing that shit to Windsor. And so, you know, they got their club. But again, like the Plantages, there's got to be people out there with like the blood from the War of the Roses. You know what I mean? Like we're talking, they get probably more related. When they dug up Richard III, they said he wasn't related to the Queen. You know, which either means Richard III was a bastard, or just the Plantagenet blood isn't on the throne anymore.
I know that one of his family was like that. If it wasn't like for the marriage side of things and him being an illegitimate child, one of his great grandparents or something like that was an illegitimate child to the throne.
Yes, he's one of those like kind of bastard lines where you're like,
So he's actually got the bloodline of the royal family.
Fucking crazy, and that's such a weird history to say, you know, because it's monarchical, but you know, like there, you know, we know for certain, like I don't think, Elizabeth II, I think, claims to be related all the way back to Alfred the First, you know, like Alfred, like the Rod of Equity, the fucking first king of England, right? Am I saying that right? Alfred, right? But there's no fucking way. There's no fucking way you are. Like, but I think Buckingham Palace has also said she's like going all the way back to like Solomon and some Viking kings. Like the Viking ones, I believe, for sure.
Oh, I was just gonna go grab it for you.
I don't know.
You got it? All right.
Definitely an empire, dude. It is weird. I was playing Hearts of Iron. If you start off as the UK, you start off with fucking everything. Like you start off with like the whole fucking map, like everything but, you know, like you start off with the British Empire in the 30s. And I kind of forgot how expansive it was.
The town I live in is the oldest recorded town in history.
Damn. See, that's so cool. You have places to sit around that town older than the government that we vote for here. You know what I mean? Older than our fucking country. That's so fucking cool.
Yeah, about a 5-10 minute walk away, we've got a castle with a park built around it, like an old castle that you can actually go in and visit. I've been in there a few times. And you can go down and tour the dungeons, the old dungeons, and that downstairs.
That's
down the bottom.
Cool as shit. An actual like medieval or pre-medieval fucking dungeon. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, I want to go to the UK really bad. I've always like my music's done well over there, so I want to go to the UK and to Europe, France, all of it,
The castle grounds used to be years ago a lot bigger than what it is now, and like some of the town centre has actually been sort of like built over and roads built and that outside the front of it now, where it used to still be castle grounds.
Yeah.
And I stayed in a hotel across the road from it. Just going back some years now, about 20 years ago, and I was trying to go to sleep, and I kept hearing these footsteps out in the hallway, like somebody was walking up and down the passageway, and I could hear keys, and every time I opened the door to look outside, the noise stopped and there was nothing there. And I walked down the hallway and looked down the stairs and everything. I thought somebody was playing a joke or something, you know, like. And but there really was no one there.
Damn.
And the next day, I mentioned it to the person that lived there, that like owned the hotel, and she was telling me that downstairs in their cellar they were redecorating and like changing the downstairs into a bar area, like for guests and whatever. So they were like rearranging the property downstairs in the cellar, and but that had nothing to do with the noises. Apparently, the cellar used to be a part of the dungeons,
Oh
and
shit.
it's sort of like blocked off now and all the rest of it. And they were saying that they've had loads of reports of people hearing these things and stuff like that as well. It's supposed to be haunted.
I bet you have some haunted crazy shit in the UK, man. They found Richard III under a fucking parking lot. They've had to rebuild over so much. There's so much history just underneath you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've moved him now, haven't they? They've reburied him.
Yeah. They did the whole. I was actually just talking to Lux about that because I'm trying to find where I can watch the Hollow Crown, that BBC production of War of the Roses. I thought he did a really good Richard III, and that happened to be airing when they found him and buried him, and Benedict Cumberbatch eulogized him. And it was fucking cool. It was an interesting royal funeral because he's a villain. You know what I mean? He potentially killed 2 children and stole the fucking throne. But he was entitled to a royal funeral and he got one. Fucking
crazy.
Fucking wild. Wild to me. In America, if we were to dig up James Buchanan under a fucking parking lot, we might just put him back there. We might just put him back. We might just act like we didn't find him. Anybody out there, James Buchanan, one of the worst presidents in United States history. You can Google that if you don't already. If you didn't get that, if you didn't laugh along with me, James Buchanan is really bad. Was a really bad president. Cool stuff in the river. Oh, really? At. Okay. Yeah. Oh shit! Isn't one of my ancestors in the 1500s was knighted by the queen? That's cool. Hisn had a knight ancestor. Michelle had her ancestry read, and she is descendant from Celtic, Irish, and royal blood. So yeah, those people, their blood got out there. The royals in particular. No royalty really in mine. Come from an old family. My last name's kind of one that is still active in Europe, so they got their thing going on. So I knew that would be there, but I had heard a story that I would my branch was adopted into that family, and I found out that that's not true. Out of 3 children that showed up in America, one of them was a blood child, an actual biological child. So and that's where I came from. So I've got this kind of European descent. I'm also, Jewish, so you can, if you're Anglican, you could probably pop open any religious document and read the first half of it. There's that part of my family history. So, I knew I'd have a certain amount of interesting stuff. I was expecting a Native American blood card when I did Ancestry.com, when I did the gene read, but I don't have any Native American in me at all. I'm none. Fucking shocking. It was shocking to me. I genuinely have been told that. The parts of me that were supposed to be Native American were not. They were from the East. So, I don't know. But no, royalty. I've never been a descendant of a king or nothing like that. That'd be interesting, though. I couldn't imagine the weight of ancestral legacy somebody would have to experience in the UK. Just the shit someone like Charles has to live with. Elizabeth had to live with. Seems like you're allowed to be a certain level of footloose and fancy free and enjoy the privileges of being a royal, but then when it's actually time to put the crown on, things seem to change for you pretty dramatically and pretty fast. I couldn't imagine that shit. That just sounds horrible. I would be just like that guy in Australia, fuck that. I wouldn't even. No, hell no. Yeah, there needs to be more documented history on Native Americans. It's really a crime. It's a crime what my colonial ancestors did, for sure. We stole the land. The land that my family developed and a whole ass town is on now was taken. It wasn't traded for. It was taken. It was claimed, and and by the French too. My family showed up in the Louisiana territory when it was still technically French owned. So that
They've done the same with Africa as well.
Yeah.
So the UK with like places like St. Lucia and the West Indies and that.
Yeah.
As well.
Oh yeah. The British Empire. You know, there's a lot of kind of colonial rhetoric that goes back to even some things that the UK is still up to, but it's like they've curbed that in a very interesting, beautiful way, in my opinion. But I'm somebody who really believes and likes the concept of the Commonwealth and the way that Elizabeth has handled it. You know what I mean? Like I like that's the news I tune into when it's like the Queen's meeting with the leaders of the Commonwealth. It's like I like that. I like that system. Like it seemed like it was beneficial for everybody in the long run for a long time. Fuck Margaret Thatcher.
A little busy for a little while.
Yeah, for a little while. Fuck Margaret Thatcher, who infamously, had beefs with the Commonwealth, hated the Commonwealth. A lot of people still do. A lot of people don't understand the point of it. Don't understand the, it's a vestigial limb from our colonizer past. I know is how a lot of people look at it. But I think there's something you can build out of it. Let's see. I'm a mutt in that sense, a special guest. I'm not mad at anyone about it. If the past of my family that didn't succeed against the side that did, warfare-wise, hadn't been so internally divided, it may have played out differently. Regardless, I view most of the history that we learned. Yeah, see, that's another thing that's incredibly hard about Native American history in America is it's very divided. There were a lot of different tribes, and not all of them got along. A lot of land that got lost, you find out historically happened because, Tribe A didn't like Tribe B. It was Tribe B's land, but the colonizers thought it was Tribe A's land, and they fucking took it. Or you have a side siding with the colonizers to run off Tribe B, and it's a very strange, horrible history. We've you hear stories about things like infected blankets that white people were giving Native Americans, and there's certain crimes that were committed against the Native people of the land that there's no solution to. Again, I'm speaking on the past.
Yeah.
There's no. Do I feel personal guilt about it? Not necessarily. I've never done that to anybody. I don't. I would like to move some. I don't really have a place to go to that's not stolen land. I could go to Israel. I have a birthright trip to Israel, but we took that. You know what I mean?
I know the British are still at it, like, in some places.
Yeah.
Even this Windrush thing that where they brought people over here, promised them that they could stay here and everything. My children's dad's actually caught up in that. He came over here
shit.
As a child. He came over as a child. He was 13 years old in 1973. And he came from Grenada. And his mum come from Grenada and his dad came from St. Lucia.
Yeah.
He's got a younger brother and sister here as well that were actually born here.
Yeah.
And his parents and everything have been here ever since. He's got grandchildren here now and everything.
Yeah.
And
Now
should have British. He's classed as a British citizen. He got arrested. Got himself in a bit of trouble.
What did they?
Went to prison. They sent him to prison, and then when he was released from prison, he was picked up by the deportation by people and taken there. And 3 times they tried to board him on a plane and deport him, back to Grenada, where he hadn't been since he was a child, with nothing out there.
No
Like,
connective tissue at all.
The only person that was out there was that was left out there was his nan, and she died years ago. You know, so like he would have had nothing or nobody to go back to. Like, and they were just going to put him on a plane, and he spoke to a lawyer, and his family helped him out and everything, financially, to be able to take it to court. And
my God!
And like it went all the way to the high courts. Like 3 different judges went over his case because the Home Office kept appealing it.
Whoa.
As well as it's costing his family thousands, because when they did release him from the Home Office, he wasn't allowed to work and he wasn't allowed to claim benefits.
The fuck?
So he had no way of getting an income.
And he's like ghosted in the system. He can't do shit.
And they were trying to make out that he didn't come over here, that they couldn't find his records before 1974, when Grenada got their independence back, which would have meant that he wouldn't have been part of the Windrush children that were entitled to stay here. And they weren't taken into the fact that he's got children here, he's got grandchildren here, he's got nothing over there.
Holy shit.
Three different judges all the way to the high courts, all saying that he was here legally. And even to this day, this is going back a few years now, to this day he's still waiting for his compensation and his citizenship to say that he's entitled to be here.
Oh shit. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a crazy level of bureaucracy holding up shit. Now, speaking on bureaucracy,
he was unlawfully detained in the detaining centre for like 13 months or something, I think it was.
Jesus, for more than a year. Oh my God. Oh, and thinking he's going back to Grenada, I would be fucking losing my mind. I don't even remember the fucking place. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I barely remember. That's fucking crazy. Special guest, while we're talking about bureaucratic systems, you know, these kinds of systems and these kinds of things with refugees and with people in like a socialized military have had similar situations. Like special guest brings up, keep in mind that for about 200 years, every one of the colonizers was also someone who had been sentenced to relocation in the Americas from Britain. You know, it's something that, you know, sometimes the colonizers that committed these crimes, again, they were kicked out of their home and forced somewhere else. America, the colonies sometimes were treated like, you know, like you hear Australia was treated for a long time, you know, like the British would send, you know, your criminals there. Like it was a prison island, you know, for a long time. And it's why American history can get weird and you don't hear enough about the beautiful kind of diverse history of the Native American peoples. What I like about TikTok lately is where you're getting a lot of Native representation. You're starting to see some of this stuff that's been passed down, word to mouth, like it's been passed down as an oral tradition and as something that you ritualistically take part in, and hasn't gotten any camera time. And now it gets camera time on TikTok. I think that's pretty fucking cool. Like I really dug that fucking like the native chat. People were showing off their native heritage and their native drip and their, you know, their traditional dress, their music, there's beautiful histories there that we just don't talk about. We don't get to talk about. Like, and international people I've noticed across the board, they're like, we don't know anything about Native Americans. Hey, what up, Christy? Hey, I'm glad you're home, by the way. Glad you made it home. It's getting close to sundown on this end, so I've got to wrap it up. It's Hannukah. It's Hannukah night too, the electric boogaloo, guys. And got to figure out dinner, got to do some dishes, got to have a good night. So I think I'm going to hop out of here for the evening.
Been a great show.
Oh, thank you. I've had a really good time today, guys. I really needed the chit chat. It's been nice. I'm glad some people came in and asked about music, and we got to engage about music and art for a bit. That's where my mind's been. Just, reacting, reviewing, and kind of taking in art, Oh yeah, gonna go live again tomorrow, Christy. Gonna do our Monday through Friday grind. We're on it. And your kids are part native, says Christy. Try to get them involved the most that you can. Yeah, participating in that tribal culture, especially if it's something that's genuinely been oppressed, not just by the media but by the establishment. I still think that there's things in America that the establishment is actively working against the tribes, and it's pretty gross. When you see big wins for a tribe, it's nice. It's nice in America. I'll say that. Like when you see those wins happen, it's like, fuck yeah. And that's how you know there's oppression. Like when you're cheering little victory, like there's, yeah, I love you guys too. Everybody in the chat, Deb, it's been a pleasure. We're gonna get on Neverwinter soon. I'm excited for this too. Was it a bear you said that throws bombs that you sent me?
Yeah, it's a legendary mount, so you can use it as a power.
Oh shit, I'm pumped. Oh.
You need to get Lux in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. See,
just confirming.
She's made a character on the Xbox, so she's actually got a character spun up. I think. What'd you think about the gameplay of Neverwinter, Lux?
I liked it. I didn't really get too far into it with everything going on. But
yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I want to try it.
Word. The gameplay, it's changed over the years, I've noticed. On PC, they've taken away the controller functionality, but they've left it on the consoles. So I infinitely prefer it on consoles. I was a little confused because I jumped right into a bard, and I didn't realize how complex that shit would be.
Yeah, even the bard's a new one, actually. It's the most recent one that only started a few months ago.
Yeah, see, years ago I had a sorcerer or a warlock, and I loved it.
I can't get the hang of the music bit on it.
That's a tough one.
The right bumper, and you've got all the got to try and get the tune or whatever to play. So I can't get the hang of that.
That special move mechanic is so wild to me too. It took me forever in just the little first training area to figure out what the fuck it was even telling me to do. I was like, what the fuck? I had to we Googled it. I couldn't figure it out. And then I saw that it wasn't just showing me where the D-pad was. It was showing me what on the D-pad to press to play the song. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. So you play these little songs and it does it. So kind of
but when you're fighting and what have you, it doesn't work.
No, yeah, it feels like you're trying. It feels like you didn't hit pause, but you're trying to enter a cheat code. It feels like you're still trying to enter a cheat code, trying to hit that fatality.
I play other characters on there, and the other characters, when you hit the right button, it gives you a different power.
Yeah, straight up.
So I'm used to hitting that right button. So I'm trying to get the hang of not touching that button when I'm playing on the bard.
Yeah, it does just stop your combat. You're like, well, now I've got to enter. Now I'm just playing the loot. I'm just playing the loot.
When you get up, but when the mount in that as well that I've given you will top up your item level and your power stats and stuff.
Oh shit! Hell yeah! Thank you.
Make you a bit stronger.
Oh fuck yeah! That's been my only issue. I feel like with a sorcerer, with a warlock with a magic class that I've made in the past, I've had a couple different Neverwinter characters back in the day, and I had no problem rolling through it solo. But man, did I have some issues with the bard. I was like, this is harder than I remember. But I think it's just that it's one of those advanced classes where it's now you're just not using it to its full functionality. But I'm gonna hop out of here, Deb. Shout out Deb. Shout out Iro on Twitch. We got Justin the Thicket Craft Forge on all social media. I love you guys. Happy Hanukkah.
Catch you all later, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, catch you later, catch you later. And everybody out there in digital world, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. We have an exclusive deal in the description from Atlas VPN and BARKBOX. We are a sponsored show. So if you want a good deal, link in description, baby. If you want to get on the Discord, we got that link figured out. Fucking link in description. You want to check out some of my music? Link in description, baby. You guys have a good one.